Three, two, one. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Hanging Out with Howie. I have an all-star panel here from all over the country and overseas as well. So we're going to get some opinions from all over that will be different, may work in your area, may not work in other areas, but it's just our opinion. And this show came about from an idea from Eric. So, Eric, we'll start off with you. Your idea was songs that were overplayed, and is it time to bring them back? Is that correct?
So that was my thought, because we've had a year and a half off. Now, we've all done a few little jobs here and there. We've done some live streaming or whatever, but the whole face-to-face interacting with the crowd thing hasn't really happened in my area yet. So we've got weddings that are coming up in June. That's when things are going to start in earnest for us. Now, towards the last 2019, when we're doing 40, 50 weddings a year, a season, there were a lot of times now that the bride and grooms are giving me more of the do play, do not play lists, right? And that wasn't something that I really had until the last few years. Now, whether that comes about because of attention spans getting short, because I can click through any song now. If I don't like it, I hit a thumbs up or thumbs down, right? And then it goes to the next song. Before, you just listen to whatever is on the radio. So I think that people are getting a little more picky and choosy, which is good. So hence, we've had those do plays, do not play lists. On those do not play lists, a lot of the classics were starting to pop up, I was seeing. The do not play Moni Moni, do not play the Electric Slide, do not play Old Time Rock and Roll, because any DJ can play those songs, and they're usually pretty popular. But they were starting to fine-tune things a little more, maybe to their taste a little bit more, and kind of opening up and expanding on the great music that is out there that sometimes doesn't get played in a short reception. So my thought to you a couple of weeks ago was, have we reset the clock? Have we pushed the reset button? Can we start playing those again? And are people going to be receptive to them? Or are we still 2 years ago where kind of they're forth thinking about some other ideas? So,
alrighty, then why don't we do this, Eric? Let's have a song that you think was overplayed in its day and might be due for a comeback. And we'll go around the room.
Okay. How about a classic one, Journey, Don't Stop Believin'. Now, I'm a Journey fan. Some people aren't, but I do like Journey, and I think there's some other better songs out there. But Don't Stop Believin' is one of those anchor songs, I call it. I will get a certain demographic to come to the dance floor. Sometimes it depends if it's been in a movie or not. Remember, Bohemian Rhapsody was a great example of that. That came back. Play that new song by Queen. But I think Don't Stop Believin' is a little played out. Sometimes I would start to see that on my do not playlist. So I don't know. We can go down the line and, see what other people think, see what their thoughts are on that.
Alrighty. We're going to go international right now. And we're going to bring in Alex from Cyprus. Alex, a song that you think may have been overplayed in its day that may be due for a comeback.
Firstly, with what Eric said, when it comes to that particular song, Journey, Don't Stop Believing, I actually play a mashup with Avicii Levels. And that just people just go mental for that, because obviously Avicii, very popular dance artist, bless him. And of course that song, which was played at the end of The Sopranos.
Yes.
But you get that sort of, again, you get that cross demographic. You get the younger generation, and then the older generation. People know the lyrics as well, and that just knocked them out. But another song that is really good, that's also a good sing along, is Flow Rider, Good Feeling.
Interesting.
Which was I think 2000, was it 2010? Off the top of my head, maybe a bit later. But again, it's an old song that again was played loads of times at the time. Nobody really requests it from the weddings that I do, but when I play it, it gets a good response.
All right, thank you, Alex. I think we're gonna go north again to Boston.
What, to Boston?
John,
I can help you out there.
welcome to the show.
Thank you.
What are your thoughts on this? One song.
For the 80s music's making the resurgence. I would take "Pour Some Sugar on Me" from Def Leppard.
Yeah.
As it was so overplayed. It came out in 87, 34 years ago. You played it every night at the bar, at every weekend function. I had played it over 10,000 times in my lifetime by this point. And then it just kind of fell away because the Journeys and some other stuff was good. But for a slow beat song, I think that just brings back the party vibe that people have been missing for a year. I think that one can come back out of retirement.
Mm-hmm.
I actually played that date night Saturday.
Did you really?
No, yes.
We're not sugar.
I'm going to tell you a story about that in a minute.
Okay. We are going to go down in the middle South. I almost said deep South. My partner in crime, Jimmy Spin.
Okay, we talked about a song earlier, and I'll get to that if we go into the second round of this.
We'll do one more round of that before I do the other questions.
All right. To make it quick, Venga Boys, We Like to Party. We like to party.
I haven't heard it in a while.
I know, that's the thing. It was killed back in the 90s, 2000s. They beat the hell out of that song. Made your ears bleed after a while.
Mm-hmm.
I played it at the last wedding, and it just grabbed people everywhere. They were like, they start jamming because it's for the younger crowd. I don't think they ever heard it before, or they might have heard it a few times. But,
well, what I'm hearing here from the panel is a lot of these songs we're hearing in commercials.
Yeah.
So, that makes them go, oh, they're either Shazamming it or whatever. And then, younger, and then they're going, hey, wow. Hey, my dad had some cool music back in his day, or whatever.
Yeah.
So with that said, I am going to do my pick. Excuse me. And I'm going to go with Livin' La Vida Loca. That was really overplayed in its time, but I haven't had it requested, and I think it's a good dance song. Sorry, we'll go around one more time. Back to you, Eric.
Okay, next song. So I was just say, John, you had a good point about the 80s coming back, and I'm pointing to where you are on my screen.
You're over there.
It'll all be jumbled up later.
I put you guys in a little panel on the side so I can look at the speaker.
Yeah,
Main man Howie. But with Stranger Things coming out, that has opened up the door for a lot of those 80s songs. Sunglasses at Night. I hear my kid jamming to that. I'm like, all right, that's my music from when I was in high school. So, all right. So, Jimmy, you had a great song there that you certainly played it. Howie, Livin' La Vida Loca. That was a great song. All these are great choices. So I'm going to go to the next level and say, what about like some of the line dances? Now, I had a meeting with a bride and groom yesterday, and they said, no line dances, no Macarena, no cha-cha slide. No. I said, I got you loud and clear. I understand completely and thoroughly. But because people haven't been on the dance floor in a year and a half, maybe they want to get out there and do those silly things again. I don't know. I'll tell you, my guys, we were doing a pickup today, and I said to two of my other DJs, what do you guys think? And they were totally against what I thought. They were like, people love those songs. Those songs are always going to be evergreen, and we're always going to play those songs. So I don't know, Macarena, are people going to be out there doing it again? What do you think?
It could, it's, what is it, 20 years or more? Why not?
Well, there's two versions.
Yeah.
There's the new version that came out a couple of years ago, and then there's the classic.
Right. Okay, let's go back around the room again, and we're going overseas to Cyprus. Alex.
Well, with regards to the cheesy songs, I mean, like again, like Eric, because he gets to go first, so yeah. But like Eric said, when it comes to the cheesy songs, if you get a wedding that say, "Oh no, we don't want any of that," or an event, and they said we don't want any cheesy songs, I say, well, what if people request it? And I think when you have a 16 to 60s, as much as the couple like might be in their, say 20s to mid 20s, the young couple, they want a clubby kind of feel because that's the atmosphere of parties that they're used to. You will always get the request for the cha-cha slides, electric slide, as you guys call it, the Macarena, Europe, who have the wig field and things like that. You're always going to get those, like, I think, those cheesy ones, but you try and get them done at the beginning of the night. And if the couple want hip hop, R&B, house music, a more clubby feel, you play that towards the end of the night, when it's just pretty much them and their friends rather than the grandparents and aunts and uncles are sitting down, having a chat, looking after the kids, becoming the babysitters of the wedding party. But I'm not a cheesy DJ. I don't go down that avenue unless it's requested. If it gets requested, then it's like, okay, well, just pop down that little alley, down that alleyway, just for 5 minutes, take a quick shortcut, and then we go back to the more requested stuff by the couple or the wedding party. But again, sometimes with the playlists, it's not the couple that make the playlist. They send out these invites on the wedding invites. Please make a request, which can just be quite interesting when you get a playlist of this and how varied it is, especially when people are asking for the more slower songs, shall we say, that you wouldn't necessarily play at the wedding, but they think, Auntie Doris goes, that would be a lovely song at the wedding. Yes, but it's quite depressing, but it's a lovely song. So you have to work your way around those.
Thank you, Alex. And Bill, my apologies. You didn't get to go the first time, so you get to do 2 songs. Bill is our resident paralegal on all things. I just saw a post today, very long one and detailed and very, very well thought out about contractual stuff, but you're known for legal music. But just a little pump up for my buddy Bill. Go ahead, Bill. I'm sorry I missed you the first time. And
no worries.
You're on the East Coast?
Maryland, yeah. So a couple of things that come to mind when we talk about, songs that are from the past that were overplayed and maybe we'd bring back. I'm going to, I guess, do both of mine now in this round.
Yeah, sure.
So the first one that came to mind was Tub Thumping, Chumbawamba. And that's because it's a 90s song. We're doing events for 90s crowds now. And it showed up on the first 2 must play lists for my weddings this year.
Really?
So
excellent.
To me, that was like, okay, even they get the point of, I get knocked down, but I get up again.
Right.
My other one has kind of an interesting history with me. In the early 2000s, I went over 4.5 years without playing the original version of Celebration. And still to this day, maybe only play it 2 or 3 times a year, if that. If it shows up on a song list or if it gets requested, I tend to play a remix version. The most recent remix I play is actually more of a mashup, and it's Celebration with Nothing But a Good Time. And it's a alternate remix.
I'm writing it down. Gonna look it up.
We all learn from each other here. This is
certainly
great.
do.
Go ahead, Bill. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I think it's Ultimix number 125. Same Ultimix that has 129. Same Ultimix that has Timberlake's Can't Stop That Feeling is on it. Anyway, it's a great little mix. And I think, again, Celebration is one of those songs that can go back, 3 generations now at a party and still be something that people are going to want to hear. And a feel good, like you said, for having a year off and getting back into it.
Yeah. Thank you, Bill.
You're welcome.
Okay, we're going back to Boston. John.
Back up to me. We like nostalgic songs, because we played them when they were new and then they kind of went out of fashion and now it's a new generation discovering them. I want to bring back Save a Horse, Ride a Cow because of the energy. People are getting out. They want to kick up the heels and have a good time and act a little rowdy. I just think that just carries a good energy, and it's it was a pretty consistent play. for the places, because I have some crossover crowds and they like, some of the country vibe too. But I like to see that one come back again, just for the power punch that it packs.
That it does. Okay, Jimmy, your last song.
Mine is bridesmaids that were being rude. People that were in the mood. Don't just stand there. Let's get to it. Strike a pose. There's nothing to it.
Oh, you're going for Vogue, huh? He's voguing.
Mm-hmm.
I like the way you did that too, Jimmy. That was great. All right. My last pick is going to be something that really worked for me. Like, I haven't played it in probably 8 years, but it would be one of those where I would like make a left turn and have everybody go, "Oh, I love this song." And that's "Build Me Up, Buttercup."
Yeah.
I haven't played it in a while. Guess what? It's a commercial now.
Mm-hmm.
So they're getting teased because all they're getting is maybe 15 seconds of that song. I think and that's another generational thing. And that the kids are going to be Shazamming that song. And I just think it might work. So let me go on to my second question for everyone. What do you think is overplayed now? And we will start with Eric.
So the song, I Got a Feeling. I love the song. I think it's overplayed, but I still think it works. I mean, I will say I probably start 9 out of my 10 weddings with that song just because it seems to work. And just the message, and going to like what Bill said with the tub thumping, I get knocked down, but I get up again. That's got a great message to it. And I can see why people would want that on their playlist this year. So I got a feeling we're going to have a good time. Of course, how do you not use that at some point during the night? And I'll use it at 2 different points. Either I start the night or I hit that climax, that last half hour. Come out of a slow song and then boom, hit it with that and, kind of finish it with that. Maybe Walk the Moon, segue into there.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty. We're going to go back overseas. Alex, what do you think is overplayed right now?
I think from an old school dance trance track, maybe Darude Sandstorm, but it is a great track. But especially on Twitch, many DJs on Twitch are playing that. When it comes to the 90s stuff, it's almost in everybody's. But I admit, if I'm going to do a set like that, it's one of those tracks that everybody plays. It is overplayed, but it's it's a bit like saying potatoes. You eat too much potatoes, but it's a stable piece of it's mashed potato, it's chips, it's so many different things. But you eat a lot of it, but you have to. It's But yeah, so Darude Sandstorm, I think is a little bit overplayed, but again, it's a great track.
Thank you, Alex. Bill, I won't forget you this time. What do you think is overplayed?
It still works, kind of like what Eric was saying. It still works, but at the same time, it definitely got itself overplayed, in my opinion, over the last few years. And that's actually Shut Up and Dance With Me, Walk the Moon. I feel like that song on its own, just, it was on everybody's playlist, and it got to the point to where they weren't dancing with you anymore. They kind of grew tired of it. And if you started with it, it might get them going, but if you put it in the middle of a set, it'll stay. I mean, but if to me, it just got a little overdone.
Alrighty, off to Boston for John.
In 2019, I started playing this little known track called Blinding Lights, thinking it sounded an awful lot like Aha, Take On Me. And I'm pretty sure it's been in the top 30 for over a year and a half now. And I can still turn on the radio here, and I guarantee it's playing on some station right at this very second. It just won't go away, and it needs time to chill out and go marinate for a little while, and maybe come back in 10 years or so. It's just oversaturation. It's just, you just can't get away from it. You hop in the car, it's playing in the supermarket. I'm like, oh my God, enough of this for now.
Thank you, John. Jimmy?
Uptown Funk. It's time to send it to another neighborhood where it's not uptown anymore.
Sounds good.
It's a hit or miss now. It's
right.
not the instant dance floor that it was, 5 years ago. All right. And now it's like a middle grade of, I as much as I dare say it, a Phil song.
Yeah.
It's not even new for the older folks. It's just there.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, Jimmy.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Eric, did we get you on this one?
We did, but so here's question 2.1. And I'm going to go back onto what Bill was saying. Songs that used to fill the dance floor, but don't really work anymore. Right. And I guess that's kind of what we started question 1 was, but there are some songs though. And like what Jimmy just said, a filler song, Uptown Funk used to be an anchor song. Okay, man, I just haven't hit it yet. I can't figure out exactly what these people need. I'm going to play Uptown Funk. And now I got an instant dance floor. But, and like you said, walk the movie, Shut Up and Dance works for us still, Bill, up in this area. But yeah, Uptown Funk is one of those kind of a B song now. So maybe that's a question for another night, but that's a good thought on that you guys had.
All right. Well, two of you guys picked two of my songs. They're Blinding Lights, I was going to say. And what was the other one here? And Sandstorm. Oh my God. Yeah, definitely. So I guess I'm going to go with Dynamite, BTS. I think I'm all, K-popped out. I'm K-popped out, man. That needs to take a rest. So, all right, we're going to go on to question number 3. All right, to finish up the recording here. Is there any songs that you will not play? So I'm going to go with Jimmy. Is there a song you will not play?
Well, of course, WAP. Won't play it. There's no reason to play it. Nope. And if I could throw a quick one in, Dashboard Lights. It's just too long. It's played out. It just don't have any more stamina. I mean, it's just another generation and nobody's clamoring for it anymore.
Right. Okay, we're going overseas. Alex.
Basically, any artist that has a, how can I put it, a dark, illegal background, artists that have, disappeared off the scene for, criminal reasons, shall we say.
Yes.
And Drake.
And Drake.
Okay. We're up to Boston now. John?
I never used to care, but now as I've got older, I'm more sensitive to lyrics and the messages. Like especially for like weddings. I mean, there's some contextual songs that aren't appropriate. I read into it maybe a little further than I should, but I know my playlist always fits the mood. Like you don't play the Pina Colada song at a wedding about two members of a married couple trying to cheat on each other in a bar, and it's a happy ending. I'm like, no, that's not really a good song for a wedding.
No. I agree.
So I don't have one specific, but it's more of a top. It's like,
I gotcha.
Bill.
Jimmy stole my thunder right off the bat, but I think that was kind of an obvious one. But I'll just kind of use that just as an example still. If it is a song that there is no possible way of cleaning it up,
right? Exactly.
I'm going to try really hard to not play it. I will not go so far as to say, sorry, I will not play that song if my client tells me to play the song. But if a guest requests it, it's not getting played.
Gotcha. Alrighty, Eric from Lake Placid.
You
Olympic Village.
Superman that ho, Superman that ho. Not played. That's one that I almost got fired at an event for.
No kidding.
I said, I will not play it. That little girl over there is in my daughter's 3rd grade class. I'm not playing this song. I don't care what you do. You pull the plug. I'm not playing that song. That's not a very popular opinion sometimes with other DJs. I think it's kind of the consensus with all us guys. We seem to be of the same mindset, but WAP, Superman, that ho, it's just not going to get played. I'm sorry, whether it be prom or whatever, I'm not playing it.
I got you.
Just my personal opinion. I can't do it.
Yeah.
That song wasn't even on my radar until he just said it.
Wow.
And as soon as he said it, I'm like, oh my God, yeah, that's an obvious one.
It was so forgotten, huh?
Yeah.
All right. I like the way that Alex skirted the issue of artists that have fallen out of favor for some misdeeds and so forth. And I won't play. I will try my best not to, and I will actually consult with the couple or the organization and let them know, because believe it or not, there's going to be at least 30% of any given audience that has been sexually abused in their lifetime. And it could be a trigger or harmful for them. So those things, I try really hard to dissuade them. But the one song that I absolutely will not play is the Chicken Dance.
Oh, man.
I'm sticking to it.
Oh.
They call it the duck dance.
It's a duck dance.
We have alternate lyrics up here in New York at some point.
I thought as a DJ, when you start playing it, they throw something after you, so you have to duck real quick.
I don't want to be a duck. I don't really give up. So kiss my. Those are the lyrics they say up here at times.
Yeah, it was kind of like the old Moni Moni song when they would.
Hey, get.
And everybody would yell out the curse words.
Alternate lyrics?
Yeah.
So.
Like, oh my gosh. So, and that's one that hasn't been played in a while. And yeah, for that reason. But we all know, even if we have the clean edits and it's there's kids, if it's a high school dance, you run into this, Eric, they'll shout the words out anyway. But
they fill in the blanks.
What are you going to do? All right, guys. Thank you. Thank you so much, Eric, John, Bill, Alex, and Jimmy. We're going to be back next week with another show, Hanging Out with Howie. Thank you all for participating, and you can all turn your cameras on after we sign off. So good night, all.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
All right. Thank you.
Have a good night.